So the answer is, I was doing it wrong. The reason I had problems with this in the past is because I was not installing it correctly. If there were installation instructions that came with those units, they were gone by the time I got there. So I had assumed that, just like the old one, the spring end went towards the actuator link. It does not. Spring end goes towards the pin detecting link. It was backwards. I put it in backwards. Well, good morning. Happy Sunday. So we just talked briefly about lane number 1. We're going to do that. Pin detecting link, lane 28, something about the Y switch. They're getting ball damage. Let's just put it that way. Lane 22, we did not get on camera. There were some wires that had backed out of the monitor plugs, the lower LCD monitors. We put those back in and discovered that the touchscreen didn't work. So needs new monitor on that one. New monitor. So 18. The issue here, we're going to jump in real quick. Simply said, it's stuck on. And yep. Yeah, she's stuck on. Well, let's see if this is going to be something easy or not so easy. No rear switch. Well, she shuts off here. Let's take a look at the circuit box up there. Do you guys see what I see? You can't, because you need to be zoomed in a little more. Hold on. Right there. Focus. Lane 18 will not turn off because there is a jumper from terminal B to terminal C in the manager's control box. So let's remove the jumper. Really? We don't know what's wrong with it. Did you even look at it? Did you even look at it? Well, let's go show Kelly what we found. Well, that was easy. Let's go down to 28. Nice, they got that lower guard swapped out. This one was particularly bad, and it was worn to the point where it was interfering with the pinwheel. Yeah, take a look over here. You see how they're all dented in? This one was dented in and cracked. Yeah, last Sunday when I was here, they pulled me off another thing I was doing. They said, help, we can't figure it out. The pinwheel's not going anywhere. And just looked in there and well, so let's grab a pry bar real quick. We'll yank it back out. But if you guys have a spare and 20 minutes of free time, perhaps y'all might change that out so that I don't have to. Alright, so this is 28. What do we see? Cushion paw is floating in space. And it looks like, yeah, I see some shiny stuff in there. Hold on. Right there. The balls are contacting the cushion paw. We need to bolt it back to the frame. And I'll bet you everything will be good after that. Yeah, check it out. Wow. Wow, that's not good. So what I think is going to be the best thing here is we're going to turn the machine on and cycle it until the cushion lifts up. Theoretically, that'll take a little bit of weight off of this paw and we can finagle it back into place. I'm also going to grab my impact driver and we're going to give it some power tool ugga-duggas instead of hand tool tightness. That way we'll make sure it doesn't come out again. So in addition to that, if you can see the corner of that accelerator pin is cracked and they've got it on with duct tape for right now. Let's see. They think they might have one up there, so we have to go spelunking up there. That looks pretty sketchy. Yeah, I'm not sure I want to climb up into this loft. Let's do it. Yeah, this isn't sketchy at all. You know, thousands of pounds, a couple thousand pounds worth of stuff, and a 6 foot tall fat guy on top of it. But no accelerator pan in here. We do have a transfer system for a lane machine that doesn't exist anymore. That's pretty cool. Well, let's go give them the bad news that we don't have a spare for that. We can while we're here, you know. Hey, while I'm in here, right? Let's get the kickback paw reattached to the kickback. Jesus, my fucking brain just rebooted. Oh, let's look at the Stufflanch over here. Maybe they've got one. Well, the answer is no. They don't have one, but maybe we pull it for them. They have a guy named Fred who does welding for them. Let's move on to this. We can always go back and pull that pan later. Well, before we forget, hold on. Let's jump back into here. We actually got the machine to 180, and it's a tight squeeze in here. Hold on. You see how we're loosey-goosey now? Taking the pressure off of that mount paw. We're going to bring in our other bolt, and then we're going to tighten it down with this bad boy. It's a good thing I got kind of long, gangly arms, huh? It's a bit of a reach. Yeah, she's not going anywhere now. Well, slight change of plan in our order of operation here. I checked in with them. They would like me to pull that accelerator pan, because their guy Fred is going to be here today, and they're just going to surprise him with this. I forget what tools I need. I know we need some Allen wrenches. I know we need some 7/16. I think that's all it is. Either way, we'll find out. Well, let's see if we can take this Y-switch tongue out. That'll give us some more room. If we can't do that, it's not that big of a deal. We can kind of go backwards, up, and over it. It's been a long time since I pulled an accelerator pan, but if I remember correctly, we got to we're going to go back, flip sideways, finagle around, and she'll come out pretty easily. I don't know if we want to take the Y-switch off for some more clearance. Find out. I don't remember. Okay, we may have some duct tape challenge. There should be one screw where you see the I'm wobbling too much. The vertical support here and that side. Right in that area there should be a flathead Allen screw. Maybe they're gone, we don't know yet. And then there's I think 3 more on the front side. So let's jump around there. Don't forget, breaker off and drop cord unplugged before you go down in there. Safety first. Because the accelerator motor is powered by a separate voltage source, we're going to unplug incoming power to the accelerator box so that, well, I don't know, this motor, it could start running. And while we have our hands and our phalanges in there, we don't want that to turn on. So remember, safety is rule number 1. What is rule number 1? Don't die at work. Rule number 2 is don't be an asshole. But we'll talk about that later. Let me see if I can maybe get a better angle. So here on the front side we have 2 bolts there. Sorry. Tight space, and I'm not a skinny dude. There's 2 bolts buried under the crust here. So these 2 are coming out. These 2 are coming out. We're not using that mount hole here. And then we've got 2 up here that are they're covered over with duct tape. Oh my god, it's so bad, it's so gross. So there, we've got our screw heads exposed. Now we can get some tools in there. Yuck. So I brought you guys back in after we took all the hardware out. Believe me, it wasn't very exciting. We gotta figure out how we're gonna get our accelerator loose from our down sweep track here. I think we just need to go that way a little bit. No. I might need two hands for this. So the trick was a little bit of finagling and this bracket slid down. So we'll have to remember that when we put her back together. But yeah, I'm thinking we can just go hold on. Backwards? Oh no, we still got some duct tape to clean up on the front side. We're still taped down over there. Yeah, it's probably hard to see, but yeah, we kind of went sideways and up and over the tongue and backwards a little bit. Now we got to hop back over the other side and finish pulling it. Well, we're running into some snags here. The flanges on the side of this ancient accelerator pin, they're a little bit wider than some of the new styles, and we're getting stuck right here. What I think I'm going to do, I'm going to separate the nuts from the studs on the rubber bumpers on the front side. We're just going to tip the rear side of this accelerator up and open up that area a little bit so that we can finagle this piece out. Not a big deal, but I will need, I believe, 1/2 inch wrenches for that. I know, the lighting's kind of crappy. So what we're going at is here and right here. I've already got that one loose. We're just going to take the nuts off. And I think what I'm going to do is just find something I can prop between the frame here and the accelerator. We only need like 1 inch, right? Yeah, something like that. That'll work, right? Well, we're getting closer to violating rule number 1 today. So let's try this again. Now that we have, yeah, buddy, there it is. We just got pinched right there. Oh no, I left my flashlight over there. Now I gotta go get it. But we're not walking on this. This is not safe to walk on. We're gonna go around. That's okay. So now that that's done, let's take it off our list and we'll jump over to lane number 1. Well, I was thinking about trying to get this on video. Unfortunately, lane number 2 is bowling right now, and the audio quality will be very, very bad. It pretty much muted all of my audio because of Pinsetter noise on a recent video, so you may not be able to hear anything I have to say. So we have our side guard off. We need to go, you can either go to 180 or 270. Let's go to 270 and stop it there. 270 would be better so that we can access the front side of that pin detector link at the strike controller. At 180 our deck is going to be up. At 270 we'll be down. We'll have plenty of room for activities. So we've got our 270, breakers off, drop cord is out. Get some light. We're aiming for a ride. Yeah, you can't see it. Right there. So we've got our pin detecting link out. We're just gonna let it hang out right there. So our next step is going to be removing our cycle solenoid plate. This won't be an issue if you've got A2 style pin setters, because the solenoid plate mounts against the gearbox housing. there is a small spacer that goes between the mount plate and the post. You want to be careful not to lose that. We've got our solenoid plate off. We managed not to lose that spacer. We need to take some of these springs off. We're going to take that pin out. We're going to take that pin out. We're going to take that shoulder bolt out. We're going to take that X pin off and separate the 180 release link from our clutch cycle linkage. This unit has a master link here. We need to take that master link off as well. Unfortunately, well, nobody was looking, we got it out, right? Pro tip, use a socket extension. As you're sliding all your linkage off, keep a socket butted up to the pin. You'll slide all your linkage off without losing any bits. It might take a little practice, but it's a pretty good method. What we want to look at is where our pin detecting link meets the bottom of our actuator link. Let's go to the workshop. It's right there. Now we can get out of the noise. So with this setup, we have a spring pressed right onto the pin. In order to get this pin out, we're going to have to finagle our spring. What we can do, just stab a flat blade in there, pull our spring back, and then maybe we get like a nail or an Allen head or something in this open slot. Or a conveniently placed drill bit that was hanging out up here. That works. Now we got pressure off of our X pin. So the pin doesn't look like it's in terrible shape. The slot looks a little bit big, like it's worn down. It's gotten longer over time. If we look, you can see the top of the link, how it kind of curves upward. Yeah, that's good. You can see that. It shouldn't curve upward like that. I'm wondering if that surface has eroded or elongated, that's a better word, over time. Unfortunately, we don't have anything that we can compare it with. We have this guy. So you would think that this would be a replacement in this orientation, right? So this would go here. It does not. It goes that way. I have a picture. I'll put the picture. So the one question that I have, we have two mount holes here. I don't know which one we're supposed to be using, so I'm going to choose that one, and if it doesn't work, we'll have to take it off and switch it to that one. So we have this installed as per the visual instructions. Well, now I'm even more confused because I looked at the picture of this unit in the genuine Brunswick parts catalog, the blue book, and it shows a slot on both sides. I don't know. Let's put it in. We'll see what happens. Oh, that was a bit of a fight, but it's on. It is installed to book specifications. So everything's back together, right? We didn't cover a lot of that. Professional opinion, this style of link is a pain in the butt. Thumbs down for that. Let's fire it up and see if it works. All right, we're going hot. Took our clutch, empty pin deck. We stopped at 90. Out of range detected, but there's no out of range. What? See if I can get you in there. Our detector disc, look right here. It's not moving. Uh-oh. What did I do? Well, we'll go back to 270. Oh, 270 setting a new rack.
Lane 34 is...
So I realized what I did. When I put the new pin detecting link through, I was on the wrong side of the detector. So I pulled the X pin from the bottom of the detector tube and moved it out of the way. And when I did, I got the roll pin on the wrong side of the bracket, trapping the detector rod in place. So let's try this again. We've tripped the clutch. Strike detected. Didn't wait for pins. Strike detected. Didn't wait for pins. Well, guess what? I think we chose the wrong hole on the back end of that link. Yeah, professional conclusion. Spring over link plate. Boo, garbage. Throw it in the garbage. Well, thumbs down on this one. I hope to have some more of these original styles coming. I recently met somebody by the name of William Pike. He watched one of my other videos and he said, I have some of these, I can send them to you. So when those come in, we're gonna do this again. We're gonna put a known good part in instead of this garbage. Well, we got interrupted there. We had to do a quick gearbox clutch adjustment on the fly. But like I said, somebody reached out. They have some extra parts they're willing to send my way. And when those parts come in, we'll put them on here and we will be good to go. We have one more thing on our never-ending to-do list here. And that is one lane where they've got a broken bolt here and their link fell off. We're not going to cover that. It's pretty simple. I don't want to waste your time. But Mikey, the cushion won't lift up far enough to let the balls through. I don't know what happened. Yeah, it took me about 2 seconds to figure it out. But they were thinking like, oh, the pit frame, we have a broken pit frame, we need to take it out. And it's not your pit frame, dude. It's not your ball cushion. They broke the rod end on the overhead link. That's all. So we're gonna take that one off. We're gonna put this one on. Now, we just gotta bolt it in right up there. Let's take a look at this. This didn't happen. Oh, well, it's been like that for a while, right? So why all of a sudden now? Well, I'm here. Take a look at it. It wasn't up on the board. Didn't seem to be a problem. Well, let's pack up our mess. We were not successful on lane number 1, but hopefully we will attempt that again with a good link and not the new style link. But everything else and more we got taken off their to-do list. Let's go home.